everyone, welcome back to this week's success stories. And remember, I told you we are now starting a new series where we're collaborating with other remote workers, other influencers per se, who are in this space. And today we have Joy, the remote chick. If you've not heard about Joy, where are you? Where are you? Please. And I'm so honored and humbled and beyond that, she agreed that you can have this on our channel. Welcome so much, Joy. For those of you who don't know, Joy is a virtual assistant, and I think I'm going to do a horrible job at introducing her. I will give her the honors to talk more about herself. But if you've ever wanted to be a virtual assistant, or someone, your brother, your mother, your sister wants to be a virtual assistant, this is the video for them to watch. Yeah. So without further ado, let us welcome Joy. Hi, Joy. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad that we have been able to sit down and let's talk. Yeah.
Yay. And for those of us who don't know where you are, where are you based? Let's start from there. Where are you?
I'm based in Uganda. As I speak to you right now, I'm in Kampala. I'm in the city. I'm based in Uganda. And I've been a virtual assistant this will be coming on the 5th year. But I do other things as a podcast manager as well as a digital comms lead. But when I started out remotely after losing my role in a content manager role, which we'll speak about, I then went to become a VA, and it's something I've been doing for the last 5 years, but also gotten into different disciplines like being a podcast manager and a digital comms lead. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting, because I know a couple of people who want to get into podcasting, and so why don't we backtrack and who is Joy to our audience? Who is Joy? Where does your journey start?
Okay, that's a very, very good question. First things first, I'm a very, very simple person. I just do this whole work thing. I have a work persona, which is very, very different from my personal persona as an individual. But work, if I introduce myself in the aspects of work, when I started out around 2021. I had a 9-to-5 job. I'm pursuing a normal employment just like everybody else. When we have left campus, I get a 9-to-5 traditional job. I'm working at a tech company. Everything is going on well, but I felt like I was not growing. I was not growing in the role because they didn't quite understand what I was supposed to do as the client relations. And if there's anything about comms and marketing, when you leave that space, you need to have credentials to show, okay, what have you actually done for these other people that will enable you to get your next job?
Yes.
But I didn't have that. They didn't quite understand my job. So I was like, you know what? I had to find another opportunity for work. And then I started looking for jobs. I had turned on all job notifications. You name it. I was in all Facebook groups, all WhatsApp groups, every group I was in my country. And that's when I turned on my Facebook job notifications. Now, when I turned on my Facebook job notifications, I get this job notification of they're hiring for somebody for a content manager role. This digital agency in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a state in the United States. And I'm like, okay, I look at the job description. It's everything I can do. I'm like, you know what, let me shoot my shot. And so I shot my shot. I applied for this opportunity. I got it. The lady is amazing. She's called Justin. Justin, if you watch this, I love you so much. We worked together for close to like 2 or 3 years, and then she closed her agency due to personal reasons. But she was amazing. She was such an amazing employer. She taught me everything I know. Literally, these tools I've been talking about on TikTok and YouTube. You need to learn Canvas, CG, what, this and this. She taught me all of those. And she was so nice. And then now we have lost our jobs, me and my other teammates. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I noticed the Facebook groups where we used to go to source leads for the agency. I keep seeing this word, virtual assistant, virtual assistant, virtual assistant. And I say, you know what? I look at the job description. I'm like, I can do all of this. I've been doing this. But now just imagine doing for an agency and working with 12, 15 clients. But now just imagine doing it for one person. The things stay the same in marketing, the social media, the scheduling of posts, all of that. I'm like, I can actually do this. So I sign up for the 90-day VA course just to polish my skills and try to understand what it means. Take that 90-day VA course by Esther Iman. Shameless plug for her. I've met her before. She's amazing. I took the course by the time, and then I went on to become a VA, received my certificate. And 1 month, I would say, because her course was like 90-day VA, 1 month after taking it, I already had a bit of a background, but it's like my skills were polished, and I was already getting opportunities for work like after 1 month during the COVID
Whoa.
time.
Whoa. Oh,
Yes,
That's
so
amazing.
Yes, it was 1 month after I now go into Clubhouse was a thing. There was a period when Clubhouse, especially during the pandemic, Clubhouse was a thing. Everybody wants to hire an assistant. Everybody wants a social media manager. And I would go in there and do this, introduce myself, get into these networking rooms and talk about what I can do for businesses, what I can do for service-based entrepreneurs. And they're like, oh, okay, I would like to work with you. So I was already getting leads. My calendar was getting booked. Of course, yeses and nos, because, people say, where are you located? And in Uganda. And then they're like, okay, they're thinking Idi Amin, all those dictators countries. You know how they think about us. But
I know. They really see us as good talent.
Yeah, the African bias is a serious thing, but I would always find people who would still say yes. So yeah, that's how I started. And I continued to work with multiple number of people. I applied for so many jobs. When I'd started out, I was in so many networking rooms until I reached my capacity. And then I relaxed. I took a step back. I'm like, no, I can't be doing this anymore. Because the thing about when you're good in the remote space, and I think this applies with just anything in life, whether if you're a business owner, because as a VA, you're a business owner. If you're good at your craft, people will refer you. People think about it like your tailor. If she's good, you're like, you guys, I have to plug you. There's this babe. I digress a bit, but I always think about this babe who sells to us shoes here in Uganda, Shadia. And I'm always like, okay, I have to tell people about Shadia because she's good. So that's the same thing with work in any aspect. So I get to a point when every 6 weeks, I would receive an email saying, hi, Joy, I would like to introduce you maybe to Lorraine. Lorraine is my friend and she has a business like this. And she's looking for a podcast manager. She's looking for a virtual assistant. And God has been good. I haven't applied for a job in over 18 months. I think just last month there's an opportunity that I just applied for, but I have not applied for a job in 18 months. And referrals keep coming back. And people I work with, they come back and they work with me. They can take breaks and then they come back this month. In the beginning of this month, I just had a client come back who I was working with. But yes, so that's the thing about being good, and God has been good. And if I was to sum up my story, that is how I started. Yeah.
That's first of all, that is amazing. And I feel like syllabus mekimbia sana, as we say in Kenya. Well, I do want us to backtrack a little bit. I absolutely love what you said, that being a virtual assistant is like being a business owner, which is something I fear isn't talked about often. But before we can even delve deeper into that, let's backtrack, because you did name drop a couple of things. One, Facebook groups. What is that all about? Two, Clubhouse. What is that? Because I'm sure the people who are watching are like, oh yes, Facebook groups. Yeah,
and I've spoken about this a number of times, but for me, when I started out as a VA, even up to today, if I was to look for opportunities for work, I would go into Facebook groups. Facebook groups are interesting, such a hidden space for opportunities in different realms, because it has so many business owners in there. There's a reason why even after Instagram and TikTok are on, Facebook is still thriving. It has entrepreneurs there. They have their networks. They have their Facebook groups, especially my women. I know they are male VAs, but I've spoken about this on my YouTube before, and I've said opportunities do exist in Facebook groups. So get into this Facebook groups. I've shared a number on my YouTube. I'll definitely comment on this video so that people can go and
Yes.
check out my channel.
Please.
Yes. the Facebook groups I've mentioned, but they are a hidden gem for opportunities for work. Facebook holds so many opportunities. You find there are so many service-based entrepreneurs, agency owners who are looking to hire to date. And it's one of the places that people don't pay mind to, especially our generation, because we seem to be now on this whole TikTok and Instagram thing going.
I know, it's like Facebook.
I know Facebook. Let me even tell you.
So old for old people.
Maybe you guys in Kenya have easy access to Facebook. We don't have easy access to Facebook in Uganda.
I found that out when I was in Uganda, and I was so shocked, flabbergasted. Jaw dropped. I was like, "What do you mean?"
Yes, we don't, because we have a ban on it. But VPNs do exist, and this speaks about how hungry you are as an individual. Turn on that VPN. Get into the Facebook groups. Who cares if the president turned off that thing? There's an easy way for you to access. Please look at
you have to eat. Yes.
Yes. So it's a hidden landmine. And then Clubhouse operates like a voice app. So when people get into Clubhouse, they get into, think about you networking but with only audio. So there's so many
interesting
Clubhouse. Yes, there's people who are meeting for maybe entrepreneurship. The people who are going to meet and talk about relationship thing. It blew up. Like, you can do your research about it. It blew up a lot during the pandemic. Remember, we were all at home. We're all by ourselves. Everybody has an opinion about something, and we would get into those networking communities. For me, I would get there around 5 p.m. East African time. I think it would be like 9 or 10, depending on the time zone difference at that time, if it's daylight saving or not. And I would get in there and I network with these people, and I talk to them and say, hey, it would literally move to the next person. So if Lorraine has spoken and Joy, you see Joy's icon is next to the one of Lorraine, that means it's now Joy's turn to speak, and she speaks about, hey, my name is Joy, I'm a virtual assistant, I help people in these capacities, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody in that room will say, I think I need a VA. And then they message.
Interesting.
Yes. And then
sort of like an elevator pitch.
Exactly. Yes, you would just get a couple of minutes and stuff like that, and there would be somebody who would be moderating, and they would hype you. They're like, "Oh my God, guys, if you need a VA, Joy's in the room." Blah blah. Now next we have Lorraine. Then Lorraine introduces herself, and that's what it was. It was such a great place to network. I know women entrepreneurs who met there, and they still have networks outside of that, because they met in Clubhouse a couple of years during the pandemic. So basically for me, those were my places to find opportunities for work. I was not even on these major job boards like that until like recently, but I was always in those small knit communities. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And you said one thing. It depends on how hungry you are.
Yes.
Right? So you don't have to, and maybe this is going to be like a disservice to BTS jobs board. You don't, but like you said, like you don't just have to rely on one thing, because there are different platforms offering different jobs. I didn't even know before. I'll be honest with y'all. Before having a conversation with Joy, I didn't know that there was like Facebook jobs was a thing. I was just like,
yeah, Facebook jobs used to be a thing. I know that Facebook must have removed that aspect of it. I know right now it doesn't exist, but I'm telling you, when Facebook jobs was a thing, it was a thing. I think they turned it off like in 2023 there around. It no longer exists. Yeah, but Facebook jobs was a thing. It was really, really a thing. And companies, remember, companies have Facebook pages.
Yes.
And then they post, So I don't know why Facebook removed that thing, but it was such a very good, like, user interface within it. So, yeah.
Speaking of that, is Clubhouse still a thing at the moment?
Clubhouse is still a thing. I haven't been there of yet. That's a like 2 years to engage in there. I still have the app. I still see people's notifications pop up, but I think it's still a thing for me in terms of finding communities. And back to what you said about being hungry, there is a saying we have here in Uganda, and it came off a meme when this guy was going for boxing, and he was like, they're hyping him and they're telling him, "Are you ready?" And he's like, "I'm hungry to win. I'm not hungry for food."
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, I'm hungry to win, because at the end of the day, if you're hungry to win, you're gonna get the food. But if you're hungry for food, you're just gonna get the food without the win. So so it's something we always say here in Uganda. But so for me, that analogy of being hungry to win, it means you have to spread your net. You don't only look at the job boards. The job boards are good. I know, yes, opportunities do come there, but in a world where we are competing for the same opportunities like other people, you have to find different ways to find opportunities for yourself. And you have to find different rooms to be in, different networks to be in. You don't just only cast your net in one fish pond, one lake, and then expect for opportunities to come. I always say to people, if someone is looking in the Facebook groups, they're going to networking communities, they're applying on job boards, how are you going to beat them? Yet for you wake up
something has to give.
Something has to give. Because today, what happens on the job board, when there's only one opportunity there, and then more there is none. But then in the Facebook group, someone has job, but you're not in the Facebook group, so you can't. So you have to cast your net wide.
Oh, absolutely. Can we talk about what it takes? So I'm really interested. So at this stage, you are in Clubhouse. You're doing your elevator pitch. A client reaches out to you. Let's bring it to present day, right? So you get most of your clients from referrals, which is a beautiful thing because an established VA, and your work speaks for itself. But for someone who is thinking, okay, perhaps I can go to Upwork, or I can go to these agencies or Facebook groups. What is the first thing that as a VA I need to have without, what is the first thing that I need to have? What are some of the things that I need to have as a VA for me to bag a client, aside from being hungry to win?
Yeah, I think presentation is everything. Presentation is everything in this line of work. And for me, when I started out, I would always say, I want to see what the US VAs are doing. What way do they present themselves? Yes, I would go and take a look at their Instagrams, and I'm like, I need my Instagram to be peng. That's what the kids are saying right now. The Gen Z, as if I'm not kind of Gen Z, they say, I need it to look this good. I need this to look this cool. I need to make sure that when people come to my profile, they can really understand the kind of work that I do. They understand the kind of person that I serve. And so your Instagram, it needs to definitely be good. If it's social media, how do you portray your social media in a way that people can really understand the kind of work that you do? There is, I have to admit this, and as somebody who actively falls into this category of, when we start out and then we get a client, we tend to neglect our socials. I have done it. It happens to me as well. You cannot help it, definitely. But I would say in the beginning stages, that's not something you neglect. You need to be out there. You need to be out there in a way that people know who you are. Because remember, we're trying to get people from outside of our countries, East Africa, West Africa, wherever you're located in the world. You don't get to hide in your house and say you're a VA and your family members only know. In your social media, you cannot post anything. You're worried about imposter syndrome. CG, what are my friends going to think? Trust me. And I think it took me just this year to come to that thought process. People don't care. People are so bothered with what they have going on. They don't care about your little YouTube or your little Instagram page.
I know.
So why don't you focus? If people are saying this is the way for you to find the clients, you need an Instagram. Go and open the Instagram and stop worrying about what people are going to say. Post about it on LinkedIn if you're this person who finds leads on LinkedIn. Post about it. Post about the kind of work that you're doing. But Instagram is very important in terms of that. And something I also preach about, which I intend to have a class on very soon, is a portfolio. You need people need to see the kind of work that you do.
Yeah.
You cannot say, I'm a podcast manager, I'm a virtual assistant, I'm a social media person, whatever role you're doing, and you don't have a portfolio. People need to see. So your portfolio, your social media profiles, they need to be up to par. They need to be looking good. So that's one thing I would say, because when you get into these networking communities, you would see that people always share their Instagrams. People in their Facebook saying, oh guys, this is my Instagram, you can follow me on there. Or you need to be on social media. The first thing you need to, especially if you want to work with freelance clients, you really need to be on social media, and you need to take it seriously because it's a gateway for your opportunities. So don't get to hide in your room. Yeah.
Now, do you see why we needed to have this conversation with Joy? Because no, honestly, and this is what I love about collaboration, because when I am speaking to VAs, right? I'm speaking to VAs, and we've collaborated with other VA agencies, but I'm speaking to VAs from a point of corporate, because that is all I know, right? And I absolutely love your experience because it is freelance. And the honest truth is that not every VA is going to be hired by a corporate.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes, like you said, it's a business. You have to go out there and look for clients. So whereas I would have never thought that your Insta is going to be a deciding factor for, let's say, an entrepreneur to be like, oh, I'm going to go with Joy instead of Lorraine because of your Insta. See now the information that we have.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So if there's anyone out there, and especially if you're feeling cringe about posting on LinkedIn, now there's an added layer. Now you have to have your Insta ready. So there's that as well. So let's see how hungry you are. But so of course, let's reel it back. You have your Insta, you have your portfolio, which by the way, Joy has said, she's planning on giving a class on that. So be on the lookout for that. What next? So how do you price yourself? Especially now for the people who are looking for freelance opportunities, right? How do you start by pricing yourself?
Yeah, I shared a framework on pricing on my YouTube. I think you can go and check it out. But if I was to say this, pricing is very, very personal. It's very, very personal. If someone says, I'm charging $25 per hour, $30 per hour, 20, 15, whatever, $3, there's a lot that goes into pricing. But for me, this is what I say. When you start out, it is okay for you to start low and go high with time, because you're entering into the new job market. You want to be chosen, of course. So you will try to kind of reduce your rate to a certain figure, but don't stay down too long. 3 months after a break, go up. This is the thing. Start low, and then it's just, I think about it in terms like any job. When you've just left campus, of course they're not going to be paying you millions of shillings.
Right. Yeah. Entry level money for entry level jobs, right? It's just the law of life. It's just how life is. So even when it comes to this, but pricing is very subjective. The number of things you put into consideration when you work freelance. And I'm going to talk about this in the perspective of freelance. Yeah. When I'm telling you what my price is, there's so many factors. My internet bill is put into that. The tools, the systems that I use, they're put into that. It's just not about accepting $3. Yes, was I accepting $3 a couple of years back when I started? Yes,
I was. I'm not gonna lie to all of you. But right now, you can't give me $3. I have a domain. There's a certain way I want to establish myself as a professional in the field. There's so many tools that I pay for that every month. Back to what we're talking about, being a business owner, that have to run my virtual assistant business. So you don't get to come and pay me $5 and then I just walk away. No.
Interesting. Yeah.
Now, let me refer you to somebody else, maybe who's in the beginner stages. But there's so many things that people don't put into consideration with pricing. But you have to put into consideration the cost, the expenses that it takes for you to show up to do the job. Those are the things. Yeah. So my Google Drive space, the storage that I'm buying for my clients, and stuff like that, the kind of work that we do. Those are things that cost me money, and you like me because I'm a professional. You want to work with me because of the way I have distinguished myself, the way I'm established. But yes, this is what it will cost you. So there's so many things to put into consideration. Don't just wake up one morning and say, picky, ponky, I think I'm going to charge $5 today. Then tomorrow you charge $7. There's so many things that you put into consideration, but majority of them lie between the cost and the expenses that will take you for you to show up on social media. You're paying for Canva. You're using Canva to create beautiful posts for yourself on Instagram, on LinkedIn, so that people can get to know you and stuff like that. You're not only on the free version. You can start with the free versions of everything, but it reaches a point in your journey where you're going to have to upgrade. And that will be a cost that will influence your pricing. So if I was to summarize that, and I hope they go and watch that video because I break it down very easily on how you can arrive at that. But you have to think about yourself as a business owner because this will influence your pricing. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And I think we're going to link it up here, somewhere over here. So please click and watch it. And just in case you aren't following, Joy has actually dropped a number of gems. So she's talked about, tools. And if you please comment down below, just so that I know that you're following, comment down below the tools that you've picked out so far, right? But I do have to put you on the spot, Joy. So you said, and only if you're comfortable. At the beginning, you were charging $3, let's say $3 an hour. At the moment, how much are you charging an hour to be a VA? You can give us the exact amount of money. I mean, it's just, or you can give us a range.
I cannot say my rate, but my bare minimum is $20 per hour.
From $3 to $20 an hour.
Yeah, my bare minimum is $20 per hour. And
bare minimum
in Uganda, if there's a saying in Uganda, if someone has kunigad you, like they've real pressed you,
to the handlers out there.
Yes, I can't go past $20. I can't go past $20 per hour. But also in terms of hourly, that's hourly, but I don't tend to always go the hourly route right now. I mostly go the retainer route. So I can tell you, considering this amount of work, maybe I will charge you $1,000 per month to do this task for you. All these tasks that you have given me for them. I try to always go. The retainer route kind of gives you a bit of autonomy over your time, and also you can be able to earn more money than somebody who is just charging hourly. But if somebody wanted me, then they're like, oh, Joy, I really don't have money, but I really wanted to be part of my team. I'm like, okay, my rate is $20 per hour. So that's it. But that's what I charge in terms of, like, if you want to work with me as a VA, if you need me for support, it's $20 per hour at the bare minimum.
At the bare minimum. I love it. And thank you for being honest with us. So for someone who was sat there and thinking, oh, maybe I can charge $20, maybe that's too high. Now you know it is possible.
And I know people who charge even far more beyond than that. People charge, I know VS who are charging over $100 per hour, especially those in the US. And Lorraine, they're even in your field,
Yeah.
with the employee field, yes, guys who are working with very big CEOs of big companies and stuff like that. But a lot comes, it will influence your pricing as well and your rate. Experience is very, very crucial in this field. Experience. You just started being a VA 3 months ago. You don't understand the tools. You don't understand the systems. You want to charge $25, $30 per hour. Everybody's going to look at you like this, like, okay, what's going on here?
What's
and
going on?
You, do you know this tool? And you're like, no. But I'm charging $20, $25, $40, $50. Come on now. Nobody's going to pay you that money. Like, let's get real.
Yeah.
A lot influences pricing. But for me, my pricing changes. It will change next year. What does, is it DJ Khalid or Rick Ross who said, today's price is not yesterday's price?
Ooh, because again, you have grown, you have developed yourself. You know, yesterday you is not today's joy. So there's that bit as well.
To come and I worked with them in 2023, they would get so shocked right now. They'll say, "Hi, Mama, what are you talking about?"
I like that. So the effort that you've put in developing yourself needs to be reflected in the pricing that you actually charge, right? That then brings me to my next question, because I'm from the school of thought that you aren't just a VA. I honestly, and I think I did mention this in the last video, I don't just want to hire like a VA. Like, it's not in the days where you go and do secretarial studies, no pun intended, and and then you just come and you just want to be, I don't know, vanilla about it. Yeah. What is your take? Because you've talked about people charging $100 an hour, as VAs. When you say that, in my mind, I'm thinking that has to be more than just a VA. Like, there has to be something else attached to that. What is your take?
So I think people need to think about themselves as an extension of the brands that they work with. When I work with my clients, I'm not just joy. I'm the lifeline of their business. I have clients who will go on a 3-month vacation and they're like, "Joy, I've left you with my business. I'm going to take a couple of breaks. I will log in here and there." And you know how people abroad don't play about their summers.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Hence the reason as to why we've got September hiring surge at the moment. You had it from Joy, right? Not me.
Coming up, people have now come back from all their summers.
Yeah.
So with all of that in mind, someone will say to you, "I'm going on a vacation for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and I'm going to check in with you." And they have left you to run every different aspect of their business. You're the one logging in for their meetings. You're speaking to their suppliers. You're literally in their email. You know how much money their businesses are making. You're at the heart of the business, and you're located here in Kampala somewhere. How is even going to check a big for you? But they're trusting you with that. So you're just not Joe. You're just not whoever you are. You are an extension of their brand. And I guess because of the responsibility that comes with the role, definitely that will influence your price. Because if someone is going away for a couple of months and I'm supposed to hold fort, I'm supposed to be there as the one who's holding back, definitely I will ask for a bigger rate or a bigger fee. So they don't just only see you as somebody who comes and reads their emails. No, because you're looking at this email and thinking, okay, I think I should meet this person and speak to them on behalf of Lorraine, because this opportunity, it actually fits the kind of work that we are doing right now at BTS, that thought process. So they're not only paying you. You reach a point where they're not only paying you for responding to emails, they're paying for your thought process, your mind, everything. I have clients who have worked with for over 4 years, and I know things about them. I was telling you before our call, October is a bit tricky because my Canadian client has this sort of work. But I have that at the back of my mind because I know that in October it's important to her and everybody in the team knows. So it's not just about the emails. It's not just about helping them with their tech. It's not just about helping them with their social media or whatever kind of VA you are. It's about being an extension of the brand and working and serving somebody to the point like, okay, if the tables were switched and I was in the CEO role, would I want me as a team member?
I absolutely love that.
Yes, I've started thinking about work like that because we just collect the check sometimes and then we go. But this is somebody's vision.
Right.
This is somebody's vision. Yeah. And I think when we lose opportunities, when we lose work, you've lost a job, you've lost a client, maybe because the company has closed. I started thinking about it like this. You're like, oh my God, I've lost work. But then this person has lost their vision.
True.
You're just going to go to another
job. Yeah.
Then they're like, how do I start? How do I start again? So when you work with people, it's very good to consider just not only how much money they're paying you at the end of their month, but think about their vision and look at what their goals are over the next few years and think, okay, is this something I want? I guess that's what the companies ask. What's your 4 to 5 year vision, blah, blah, blah. So they want to know, are you aligned? So it's more than that. So you are not, you're an extension of the brands that you work for, and you're also a business owner. Yeah.
Absolutely love that. So you then, and if I were looking for a VA role, this is what I would do, right? First, mirror. So understand, of course, do the research, in the company that you're applying to or to the exec that you want to support. Do proper research. Try and almost what am I forgetting her name? We did the video over here last time where she said she almost stalks them. So watch that video as well. So almost stalk them, get to understand what are their interests, what are their vision, and then mirror that, right? And how that's going to come up when you practice empathy in your elevator pitch. I think that's where it plays, right? So you play into the emotions, into their passions, right?
Yeah. Always have to think about how this is how I serve.
Exactly. And then not forgetting that you're also a business entity. So you charge appropriately and you position yourself as such. Which then, by the way, I think we do need to have a class. We need to have something going on where we can teach people, right? Where we can actually teach people, because I'm looking at, our clients, our client base. So we've got people who are working in the NGO space and, at the moment, they've been laid off. We've got, execs who are looking for something really easy. We even have like retirees who are looking for something pretty chill.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And they've got a bunch of experience, whether as project managers, as accountants, as HR, you name it. We've got like a myriad of talent, right, at BTS. So grateful and so thankful and honored as well, by the way. And if someone of that, with such breadth of experience and depth of experience is looking to get into a VA role, I would think and I don't know, let me know if, I'm correct in this, like teaching them the ropes of, being a VA, how to price, where to get these opportunities, how to think as such, and then they incorporate their existing experience. Wouldn't that make them, I want to say like a fire VA, but wouldn't that set them on a different pedestal? Let me know from your experience.
Yeah. I think it would definitely set them on a different pedestal. First of all, to understand the frameworks on how you can stand out in the industry. But another thing that would really, really help them is a bit of experience. And I've spoken about this so many times on my TikTok, so many times on my YouTube, and I get both a positive and a negative feedback on this. But even if it's volunteer work, consider it. Consider it. For me, and everybody knows me, and this is how I say it, the fastest way to break into any industry is to go pro bono. It is
interesting.
Start volunteer work. And I say this when I lost my content manager role at TDM working with Jocelyn. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know how to start. How do I get these people to see me? Remember, we are Africans. There's so many things that hold us back. People's thought processes about us. There are literally people who think we don't have electricity. Yes, I know it goes sometimes.
But not all the time. Like, on some days you're better than them.
We are trying, guys. So we have moved past all of that thought process of us living in the jungles, but people's minds are still stuck on us being there. So I'm like, how do I break into this field? I know that I'm good. I know that I can do much more than what is just required of me. So for me, I started doing this where I was like, apart from applying for the jobs, as I applied for the jobs, I was pitching in these groups and saying, hi, my name is Joy, and I'm looking to work with somebody for the next 1 or 2 months for in exchange for testimonial. All of this is pro bono work, so I'm offering myself.
Oh, wow.
I would do that because I think about it like this. For you who's just, if someone comes to me and they say to me, I've been applying for the last 5 years.
Right.
And I haven't gotten any good feedback. The first thing I'm going to ask them is say, have you tried to volunteer? Because somebody who is volunteering is gaining this hands-on experience.
True.
For you who is just applying, you're not even doing any sort of work to skill up. Then they meet Joy. She's applying, but she has this sort of experience, and people don't even care. If you show them your portfolio and the work that you did, and now you've worked with this particular company, you understand the tools, the systems that are listed in the job description, they're telling you about this tool, you're like, yes, I've used it before, blah, 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 and you put there your experience. They're not even going to ask you about if it was paid. They're just going to say, oh, this person is this person is experienced. Let me tell you, this person is experienced. Then Joanne comes, and Joanne has spent the last 2 years. She has her experience from her 9-to-5 job. But she doesn't have any experience whatsoever with these tools and systems of this field she wants to work in. But she's been applying. Lorraine, you're in the HR space. You tell me, who are you hiring?
I'll go with the other one. Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure. For sure.
And yet nobody's going to know Joy's story and then know, oh my God, maybe she was even working a volunteer job. No, you're going to start getting salary. Like I said, yes, I want $10,000 and this and this and this. But you don't have any. They didn't even pay you for your last job. But nobody knows. Nobody knows about that. Yeah, because they're just going to say, I like what you did for this particular company. How about you come and work with me and my teammates or whatever what our company is called. Come and be part of our team. Also, remember, you have built the experience. You have a network of people who can vouch for you. And in the video, who you do for free work is 100%, especially if it's excellent. They're going to send you, do you want a video testimonial? They'll record it. Do you want audio? They'll record it. You need what is it called? The recommendation on LinkedIn. They will talk about you in any way. They can produce 5 different testimonials for you to reference. You have it for free.
You have,
sometimes they will retain you. For me, I've been retained so many times. And when I started out, if I was to get, let's say in 2 pro bono clients, if I was helping them just for respective hours, if I was working with them for just a specific period of time, if I had to, one of them always retained me. They're like, Joy, tell me what you're ready. Yes, they would say, I got to work with Civitas Post in the United Kingdom, in the UK. The company, yes, it's a media publishing agency, and I started working with Civitas Post because I made a post in the Facebook group, and the CEO Lorena, she says to me, Joy, we're looking for an intern. Come on, I would love for you to be part of it. And I go and I become an intern for just a month. And then after that, she's like, we need to meet. And I'm like, now what have I done? Maybe I've done something wrong. And during the call, he says, we would like to bring you on board for the next 1 year as our intern. We're in this transitional period. This is how much we want to pay you. And I was like, what? But I went in there with this thought process of, okay, I want to gain this experience. I didn't have any expectations whatsoever. Kill the expectations. The expectations you should have from this job is this opportunity to gain experiences. I want to be so good at this thing. I want to gain so much experience so that when somebody wants to employ me comes, they're like, okay, this is somebody I want to work with. Because the worst place you need to be when you're in the pursuit for opportunities is a place when you don't have knowledge.
Sure.
You have a willingness to work, but you're like, I can do this, but you don't understand the tools. You don't understand how system works. You don't understand how the framework works. But you have a willingness to work, and you want to be part of this new field you want to get into. But you're also so proud. You don't want to start from the top. Yeah, and I know, yes, so it's but for me, I say this especially for my people who are very privileged. You have a roof over your head. You have Wi-Fi. You're scrolling on TikTok. You're watching this YouTube.
Yes.
I mean, you can give 2 hours of your time to volunteer to do this specific thing. And it would change the trajectory of your life as you look for paid opportunities. But don't just start shooting your shot for roles where we have your 9 to 5 experience. Yes, it's amazing. You were maybe running some big company back here at home and stuff like that. But remember, you're entering into a space where people don't know you. So if I was to start from today, gain a bit of experience. And when you volunteer, I have to say this, I should have started this in the beginning because I already know there's somebody rolling their eyes. They stopped, they paused already, like really left. But if you stay up to this part where I'm rapping about this volunteer thing, you have to have a goal. I'm volunteering with this company for 3 months, 1 month, 2 months, and this is what I want to get out of it. I want the experience. I want to understand how this tool works, and I want to live there with a network of people who can vouch for me. But you should not be volunteering for anything more than even 6 months. Just hurts my head. But don't go past that. If you're really, really like in 3 months, if you've been putting in the work, you already gain experience. Then if you want to go and try out another company, it's okay. Because I know people whose job search has taken 1 or 2 years. And it's really sad that it has taken them all that while. But it is the reality of things. So my thought process is, who do you want to be in 2 years? An inexperienced individual? Or do you want to be somebody who has experience? Even if you may not have gotten the opportunity, but the day you get it, they're like, wow, you have all of this experience. And trust me, they don't even know that it was pro bono. So that's what I say.
Absolutely love that. And listen, we do have to wrap things up because Joy has to go back to work. But like I did mention, if that escaped you, so Joy, the remote chick, we've got BTS, and we've got Michelle. If you haven't watched that video, it's over here as well. The three of us are coming up with something really exciting that we should be able to announce to y'all before the end of the year, right? And it is all around being a VA. So if you want to hear more from Joy, as you can tell, she's quite experienced, right? You want to hear more from Joy, from being a VA as a freelancer. You want to hear more from Michelle, from, what recruiters are looking for as a VA recruiter. And if you want to hear from myself as well, then I would say just pause a little bit and, stay on all our platforms and wait for when we do announce that amazing thing that's coming up. In the meantime, do let us know in the comment section, what is your question that you'd like Joy to respond to? What value did you get from this video? Because I know for sure I've gotten a ton. And if I were looking for a remote role, first of all, I would go look for Joy, not a remote role, a VA role. I would go look for Joy. I would, go into her YouTube channel, watch all her videos, and implement that. But then I would also be on the lookout for what we, the three of us, are working on. So, parting shot, Joy.
Yeah, parting shot, I would say to anybody who wants to work remotely, I don't care what specific field you're in, and maybe you're a virtual assistant, you're a podcast manager, you're a video editor, is you need to be loud about the kind of work that you do. And you need to find a way to lower your imposter syndrome. It will always exist. It's something that I struggle with every day. Even as I record this, like, I'm questioning myself. I'm like, oh, am I the most experienced person to talk about this?
Yeah.
But when you have proof of your work, it will outweigh whatever imposter syndrome you have. I always think about it like this. You cannot put me in front of a stage to talk about being a doctor, because I've never been. I fear blood, all of that. I fear everything in regards to that. I fear needles. But you can talk to me about remote work, and I have a plethora of things to talk about in regards to that. Because when you're experienced, it gives you an upper hand. It gives you that dog confidence of you can get into a room and they can put you in the ring and you're willing to win the fight. So just get good at whatever you can. Everything you want to do, but don't keep quiet about it. Be loud about it. And if you don't like speaking, showcase your work. Post your video that you've edited, and boom, go away. But if you want to speak. But one thing for certain, don't keep quiet about the sort of work that you're good at, or the field that you want to get into. Speak. The internet is here to help all of us. Don't just only use it for scrolling, please. You have to be in a creator mode as well. So that's what I will say. Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love that. So there's no room for being invisible.
No.
Yeah. And the thing you talked about being, doing pro bono. If you don't have experience, go ahead and do it pro bono. You've got that time. I always say two things you have to invest. You either invest your money or invest your time, right?
Yes.
And sometimes you have to invest both. So there's that as well, right? And I absolutely love what you've talked about, just right now, that in the space of the internet where people are making money off of it, you too can make money off of it. So, absolutely love that. Thank you so much, Joy. It was such a pleasure having you. And I cannot wait for us to work together some more. Thank you. Bye. Until next time.